What's up, everyone? Daniel Marks with Dorx. Wanted to put some thoughts on video in relation to the wrapping up of 2020 and what's on the horizon for 2021. Some focuses that I'm going to have at Dorx. Some shifts we're going to see in the industry. A lot of things going on. 2020 was a crazy year. It was crazy for everyone. It affected everyone differently. It impacted businesses differently. Automotive had a strong year relative. It was a questionable year. It was a year where we didn't know how it was going to go, how it was going to play out. In April, we discounted services for all of our clients. We didn't know if sales would drop off the face of the planet, and there was this massive conversion for most dealers of becoming online retailers and acting more as an e-commerce business versus primarily brick and mortar as they had in the past. It's dealers doing contactless services, at-home test drives, online retailing, a whole lot of new things for dealers that they had not tried in the past. 2020 was a trying year. It was a successful year for Dorx. It was a successful year for most of our dealers, partners, and overall it was a pretty good year fiscally in terms of business, but it was a hard year. It was a challenging year. Every day brought new challenges, and that still is not ending today. Which is, if you watch my prior video, I've been talking a lot about Apple's updates rolling out to iOS 14 and how that's going to impact use of audiences and pixel and measurement and social advertising on the Facebook, Instagram family of apps. We are still kind of unsure what that's going to look like and roll out as we get into 2021. But we're prepared. We're prepared to shift attention, and we're prepared to shift focus. And I don't know how many people know this about Dorx, but one of the other services that we have, we actually work with only 10 stores in this manner, is on the reputation side. We thank all their customers. We route the negative reviews to the appropriate department. We follow up with those departments to make sure that they're reaching out to customers when they have contact info, that we're responding and apologizing and providing direct path to the appropriate contact at a dealer when they don't have an ability to reach the customer. We have a reputation program that is very, very hands-on. And as we're forced to kind of look at what we're doing as a macro at Dorx today and some of the things that could literally potentially be stripped out of our hands unwillingly by Facebook and Instagram and Apple and the feud in conjunction with other possible issues, we're really looking at where we can reallocate resources and time and create value that is consistent and not reliant upon a set of tools that is modified regularly and very difficult to stay on top of in terms of what's going on. I mean, some of the things we experienced in 2020, we saw ad accounts shut down entirely. All of them overnight, like we had done something wrong, and then the next day they were reinstated, and Facebook had a massive error where they wiped out millions of accounts. They have a big problem with AI. We see lots of big marketers who are having their business accounts shut down, many and most times not for reasonable offenses. But there's no humans to talk to. Even people who spend tens, hundreds of millions of dollars with Facebook, you may have an account rep, but you don't have the reach to the appropriate departments to challenge some of their systems that are falsely banning people from the ecosystem with improper logic or lack of logic. And this is affecting psychology of business owners. This is causing gray hair to sprout. You wake up every day, regardless how consistent you are with your work, with your job, with what you do for your clients. There's this third dimension that is uncontrollable by Dorx. Or any agency that's relying upon these tools that we use to generate results for our clients. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It's tough to think that, the amount of energy and work that our team puts into executing and creating results that, early 2021, these tools could just be watered to where they don't work as effectively as they do today. And it really is forcing us to think about where we want to go in the automotive space and where the most value that we have provided historically over the last 9 years lives. And this reputation side it's real. In 9 years, we've never had a client leave the reputation program once they've been a part of it. We've never received an email with an audit from a third-party vendor trying to show that we are not as effective as they are, as you do in the advertising side. Almost daily, I hear from a client, with some other vendor that has Google Analytics access, and instead of focusing on their own performance, they like to focus on the ebbs and flows of other companies. And I always joke with our clients, I feel like we're the only agency or ad provider in the automotive space that doesn't focus on analysis of other companies' performance. But you put all that together, and it's just the advertising space in social. It's fragile, and it's not just fragile. In terms of the tools, it's fragile in terms of the people who rely upon these tools to live, to feed our families, and to make money. And so I'm definitely thinking about how I modify what we do in 2021, where our value proposition is far more qualitative and less quantitative, where our special skill sets in terms of customer service and writing and our consistency. There's a lot of things that our reputation program has brought to the table, and we feel like our clients will shout it from the rooftops. And I think I've been a little silly or naive in not capitalizing on the fact that this program created so much value prior. We saw, the shiny object that was the Facebook ad platform 10 years ago, and we've just been chasing the dragon with Facebook and Instagram in terms of squeezing their products to receive the most ROI for our stores. And we're finally seeing a point where we want to focus on what our skill set is across a bunch of places, where if Facebook goes away, or if Google goes away, or if Apple goes away, our service just moves to the next platform to handle the customer engagement wherever it ends up. And that's really verbatim what happens on the reputation side. Are there other companies in the space? Sure, Reputation.com, namely the largest in the automotive space. But when you get that big, you lose touch. You lose the ability to talk with the guy who has responded to 60,000 reviews and can consult and remove emotion from the situation and see both parties' perspectives, and also create accountability for the principal or the owner or the GM. Where when there's not a culture of reviews matter and hiring someone like CardWorks to manage the process, there's a lot of stuff that gets swept under the rug. And we're here to create accountability and to ensure that you're not just using marketing to seek new customers, but you're using the tools available to create repeat customers of people who are already shopping with you. We see so many times that dealers allow customer relationships to be spoiled when they can be solved. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of times where you just should let a customer go. You should not respond. There's tons of times that happens, but it's 2%. The other 98% are savable, and you have to be willing to take the action. And we're seeking those stores in 2021. We want stores that want to be better at dealing with their customers, that want to resolve issues after the fact, that want that customer to come back and turn that review around and go from a 1-star to a 5-star. Is it your overall rating that matters? No. But there's so many contextual points relative to a review, like the fact that if you post a review on a dealer's site and I'm friends with you on Facebook, your review is going to sort to the top for me. And so if it's negative or positive, it's going to drastically affect my perception, especially as a peer. So we're really, really looking forward to talking more about the reputation and communication side of the automotive dealership, and providing services that we're already providing at a little bit greater scale to leverage and amplify that value and bring it to more rooftops. As CardWorks' mission has always been to stay at a reasonable size. I want to know every client by name. I want to know their hotspots. I want to know what they find value in. I want to send them a Christmas gift. I want to understand how their business, changed the month prior and how we can adjust with it. We want to be a part of those conversations, and we believe that when we get to a certain size, that becomes challenging. So we are in the business of creating high value relationships for a smaller number of stores and charging a bit of a premium for it. We think there's a lot more value in that relationship than there is in the boxed services for handling customer situations. It just doesn't seem like a time to skimp or to automate in many cases. So that's kind of my thoughts wrapping up this year and heading into the new one. We're really excited for 2021. I think like 2020, it's going to bring a lot of change. It's going to force the automotive ecosystem down the path, more of internet retail, more of at-home pickups and drop-offs and service and anything that can happen at home not happening at the store. I think this trend is going to amplify, and it'll be interesting to see what happens to dealers on social in terms of paid traffic with all these changes, and also how we pivot from that on the ad side, but also start to place more emphasis and in the reputation piece, and really teaching and preaching to dealers how important it is to have a team of people who understand customer service, can write in amazing English, can remove emotion, can do it consistently 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Even when your staff changes or your store is closed, we are open. We're handling that process, and we always will, and we always have. And I think we really want more dealers to experience what it's like to have that level of control over your customer situations online. So if you're still watching this, I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I appreciate you soaking up my thoughts, and I would love to hear from you regarding anything that you've been challenged with in 2020 and moving into 21, and how you're looking to pivot from it or grow from it next year. Happy New Year. Talk to y'all soon. Take care.